Thank you. Okay, stop. So, okay, I got it here. Thank you for all coming today. We really appreciate it as a family. I'm Patrick Spicer. Since I'm up here, I can tell everyone I was a favorite of my dad. Because they wouldn't come up here and do this. But anyways, look at that picture. It's not supposed to happen. He can't be sad today, right? He's not. He's not sad. Gosh darn it, sorry. Right now he's teeing off the best 18 holes in heaven, all put together. He's going to finish that round. It's going to be perfect. He's going to come back home. He's going to eat a bowl of chili with saltines, take a nap in his favorite wingback corduroy chair. Be a perfect day. I've been dreading this, right? We all have. You know, just coming up here and speaking and try to share thoughts of a person. Sorry. And I'm supposed to be eloquent, I'm supposed to be smooth, I'm supposed to develop or, deliver this great speech and make everybody laugh and cry all at the same time. It's tough. We just, try to have to remember who he was and how he influenced all of us around us. Father gave a really good summary of who he was and everything that he did in his life, but there's a few things that you really don't know about some of those stories that you heard. And I'm going to tell you a little bit of secrets about him. So my dad was a first-generation American. Later on in his life, I started calling him an anchor baby. And for some of you that might not know, that's a negative or derogatory term for immigration families that have babies in the United States that become U.S. citizens. So his parents became U.S. citizens because of that. But what's funny is my dad, towards the end, thought I was calling him an anchor baby because he was a fat baby. So he was rather large. I think he was over about 12 pounds or something like that. I don't know. He was a huge kid. He was never really a scholar. There was two schools of thought. He got in a lot of trouble, or according to him, he was perfect. So I'm not really sure. Maybe we can talk to Antonise about that after. She could let us in some of that. He did join the Army. Well, he went off to college, kind of muddled around with that for a while. Wasn't the greatest scholar, like I said. Joined the Army too, because it was a good time to join, but also to get serious. And then he told me, and I'm not really sure if this is serious or not, or true, but it was to get away from a girl. So who knows? He was in Hawaii, played football against the University of Hawaii as a scrimmage team. So what a great time. And a lot of people don't know this, he was a nurse. And as a kid, you think your big bad dad's a nurse, right? But I think he did recall on his training about, 12 years ago? Sorry. I probably saved my mom's life. After the Army, he grew up. He came back, he put on his best plaid shirt, his best plaid shorts, drove her over to my mom's house. And she was so impressed with that dressing style. She said, "Heck yes, I will marry you." Right? It's exactly how it happened, Mom, right? Fast forward, he got a job with General Motors, did very well there. We moved, I think, 5 times as a family, 5 kids all around the country. Was on the fast track to, doing quite well there. Depends, when you asked him of why he quit and what he did and why he did it, but basically I think there was a couple reasons. One's obviously because I think he was tired of moving his family around, right? So he gave up a pretty big career, right? But also I think he was looking for a house in the middle of February in Chicago, and I think there's like 28 feet of snow on the ground, and he was going to miss tea time, so, could have been a little bit selfish there too, so who knows. 8 beautiful grandkids, we know that, we heard that today. Two of them are his favorite. I'll let you guess who the two are. Right. Other highlights that about Jim that we all learned to remember. He somehow dated Farrah Fawcett, Kate Jackson, and Jacqueline Smith, and any other 1970s supermodel that popped up on the TV. I was so impressed with his dating heritage, I felt Mom should have been very lucky. He was not mechanically inclined at all. This was a benefit actually for me because it kept me around the house a little bit longer to help them fix stuff all the time, so they couldn't kick me out when they wanted to. We all know we love golf, right? But like us that love golf, we also hate it at the same time. But I think he found a lot of friends out there, and it was a lot of fun for him for years. He did fight a snap hook his whole life. And then when we played together, that snap hook got worse, so obviously it was my fault that he developed that. And he did walk to Valley Meadowlands a lot, but what he didn't tell a lot of people is I think he used to stop at Christie's Donuts too, along the way, right? He did love traveling later on with my mom. I think that was a great highlight. He loved the history part of it. He loved seeing all that. He loved the reading. He loved the stories of the people. Something that really sticks in my head, when I was young, they dragged me to England because they couldn't leave me at home when I was about 14, 15 years old. I don't know why. I was very responsible. And you know, my dad would drag me to the pubs to go, you know, talk to the local war heroes and all that stuff, and talk about his father growing up there and all that stuff. So it was a lot of fun for him to do that. I think later on, the grandkids, the big family, probably brought up, gosh darn, why is that happening? The most joy. I ended up working for my dad for about 9 years at Wellman Products. I went there, and I remember I got a call from my mom saying that she was very nervous that this was going to be something that could work one of two ways, right? We would grow together or we would grow further apart. And luckily we grew much closer. And there's three things that I took out of there, right? The one thing that, you know, a lot of people have hobbies. My dad had work was his hobby. And I know it sounds awful. And I know we're not supposed to do that in our lives, but I really think work for him was something to bring benefit to a lot of different people, right? A relationship where, hey, if you work hard for me, I'll work hard for you and I'll reward you. And he did that for so many people that he touched. So many people were loyal to him, and I think because he was loyal back to them. Quite an amazing accomplishment. It wasn't pride, it wasn't ego, wasn't anything like that. I mean, there's a story, and Doug's here, there's a story about a guy during labor relations that basically went out to his car and knifed his tires, all four of my dad's tires. That guy continued to work for my dad and moved all the way up throughout the years and became one of his best employees. It's just funny, the people that he would give a chance on, or give somebody a chance, and those people would never forget that, and he would never in turn forget them. The second thing, or the third thing, really, it's something that I never knew about my dad. He's not a morning person, so if he didn't have his coffee, don't even talk to him. That was kind of scary. So I learned that real quick when I first started there. Hey, Dad. So we all know that, right? Who's my dad, right? Depends who you ask. But I think we could all probably agree on, if you look at that face, funny, right? Honest, fair, loyal, right? We all have stories that we could, share, spend hours and days talking about these little snippets of memories and that thing. I really want to try to stress today is not a day of sorrow or sadness. It's a day of remembrance and happiness for the man that we knew. The man that we got to enjoy. He wants you with a pint of Sierra Nevada in his hand. He wants you celebrating his life, and he wants you spreading joy, and he wants you spreading happiness. And I want to hear today, do you remember the time when he did this, or Jimmy did that, or Spice did this? And then I want to hear laughing. And it has to be at his expense, because that's the way he always liked it. I'm pretty sure he accomplished what he set out to do. And he's finally resting peacefully, and that means so much. And one great thing about the golf is he's never going to have to yell "for" again, right? Because it's now perfect. So I just want to express again, thank you everybody for coming today. There is a reception at Dial Country Club after that everyone's invited to. So hopefully we see you there. And let's enjoy the memories, the wonderful memories, the great memories of Jim Spicer.